Hi guys, and welcome to China Perspective. My name is 𝗕𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗀𝘀 and you may know me as a German recruiter in Asia. Today I'm in a city that doesn't usually make international headlines, but plays a major role in China's manufacturing story. This is Kunshan. So if you know China, you know Kunshan in Jiangsu province. I am here today to visit several of my German clients, so it's a little day trip. And there are actually more than 100 German companies here in the city, many of them in the manufacturing B2B field, and so that means I am here pretty regularly actually. Kunshan has a bit more than 850,000 people, which makes it not very big for Chinese standards, keeping in mind that a city like Shanghai has around 24 million people. But nonetheless, this city has actually been named #1 on the Forbes China list of top country-level cities for 6 consecutive years, up to, I believe, 2014. So you just know stuff is happening. Most of my clients here tend to be in the electronic information, equipment manufacturing, or food and beverage production, and of course, automotive components field. So today I want to tell you a little bit more about Kunshan. First of all, what is that thing behind me? I choose it because I think it looks quite spectacular, doesn't it? This is called the Pyramid Residential Building in Huaqiao Town, and this building is also very famous on Chinese social media, and it has actually been designed by a Japanese firm. They supposedly got inspired by the image of Chinese rice terraces and rice fields, which you may have seen on, scenic pictures, as well as the pyramids. It was finished in 2013 and has more than 1,000 apartments or so, who all have a beautiful garden-like balcony, as you can see behind me. I think it's pretty cool, and honestly, the older I get, the more I really want a garden. But now back to the city. The city of Kunshan is in the southeastern Jiangsu province, sitting right between Shanghai and Suzhou. If you ever traveled between the two, chances are you pass through Kunshan, maybe without even noticing it. Even though I'm sure you would notice. Location is one of the key advantages that helped Kunshan gain international traction and attracted many international firms. Many of those moved operation here for its proximity to Shanghai, strong infrastructure and cost advantages already many years ago. So for example, a factory in Kunshan will be significantly cheaper than a factory in Shanghai. The city here has really doubled down on its location advantages and put quite some money in planning into its infrastructure. While I chose to take a car here today, which from Shanghai Puxi took me around like 90 minutes, but it's been a rainy day up till now, which means slower traffic. It would actually have been much more convenient to take a train, unless you're visiting several companies in one day like I am. The train via high-speed rail would take somewhere around 30 to 40 minutes or so from Shanghai Hongqiao station. And you know what? There's even a metro line which links Shanghai and Suzhou and Kunshan, and I think that's quite spectacular for China, and I've not seen it in many other countries, the simple metro line links between two cities. So if you want to try that, hop on the Suzhou metro line number 11, and it will bring you, including Suzhou, that's another interesting city nearby, all the way to Shanghai. Unfortunately, there is no Kunshan airport, but to be honest, I don't think it's absolutely needed. So from Hongqiao Airport in Shanghai, you need around 45 minutes or so for the 50-kilometer distance. And from Pudong Airport, also in Shanghai, which is a bigger, it's a more international airport, you may be coming in, if you're flying in from the west, it's around 90 minutes or so with reasonable traffic, maybe 2 hours for the 100-something kilometers. So overall, that is not bad at all. So let's look at the history of Kunshan. Its name in Chinese is Kunshan, which has basically 2 parts. The first part is Kun, historically relates to the Kunlun Mountains and is associated with excellence and greatness. And Shan means mountain or hill. So the name most likely originates from Little Kunshan, Kunshan, a small hill that inspired the name when the county was formally established in the 6th century. So back then, over 2,000 years ago, during the Qin dynasty, this area was administered as Low Country, named after the Low River, which today is named Liuhe River. In 535 AD, Kunshan County was created from part of 𝗁 County. Later, in 1724, it was split into Kunshan and Xinjiang, each with its own walled town. And technically, the city is even older, with indicators of settlements in 𝗿𝗶𝗀𝗀 town dating back over 6,000 years, making it one of the key cultural centers during the spring and autumn and the Warring States periods. Kunshan is also the birthplace of Kunqu opera, often called the ancestors of all Chinese operas, and there's a museum here that honors the 600-year-old art form that originated right here in the Kunshan Taizang region. That museum is China's first opera-themed museum to showcase all 348 local Chinese opera styles with 4 immersive interactive exhibition halls that bring the world of Chinese opera to life, from, costumes to scripts to music and stagecraft. It was even recognized by UNESCO in 2001 as a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. If you're from the West, maybe you don't know, but Chinese actually have an extremely strong art and poetry background, even a very romantic point of view and strong artworks. Maybe sometimes I make a video about it. But why am I here today? As I said, I come here quite often to visit my clients. As a headhunter, I try to visit my client's location to see what is going on, what does the plant and the production look like, what's the company processes, what products do they have, and to also exchange on the ground and real-time business information, policy information, and industry information. Honestly, that is the best part about my job, is speaking to people on the ground to hear what is really going on, and this is where I learned everything that I know. Especially today, most of what you see in the official media, especially overseas, is tainted this way or that way, really depending on the political agenda. And these face-to-face visits help me and my team of recruiters to select a suitable personality of candidates and also just answer questions our candidates have when they're interviewing for a job. Plus, I personally love to visit factories. If you are seeing this and you have a factory in China, preferably either in Zhejiang, Jiangsu, Shanghai area or around Beijing, hit me up. My contact information is below and I'd be happy to come by and check. Kunshan is actually described as China's most affluent country-level city, and for good reason. Its GDP jumped from 20 billion RMB, that's somewhere around $2.8 billion in 2000, to over 575 billion in 2025, so that's around 79 billion US. And it has topped the national competitiveness ranking for 19 years straight. A major growth driver here is the Kunshan Economic and Technology Development Zone, which was established back in 1984. It is actually one of Jiangsu province's earliest development zones. As of today, it has attracted 2,700 foreign invested projects from 51 countries and regions. Total foreign investment actually exceeds 43 billion US and hosts 52 global Fortune 500 companies, including, for example, Foxconn and Starbucks. That is quite impressive. 52 out of 500, not bad at all for a small city. And Kunshan, like many other cities in China, are very eager to welcome more FDI, so foreign direct investment, and more foreign firms to come here. You will find that the local government will be very, very accommodating, helping you find English-speaking service and offering lots of incentives such as tax breaks for qualified industries, subsidies for smart manufacturing, and innovation streamlined business registration. And you just heard me say subsidies, and I know this is a trigger word for many in the West who, yes, rightfully, claim that China is somewhat unfairly subsidizing its own industries. Well, come here and also get subsidies from the Chinese government. That is totally possible. Ta-da! In fact, we have a very strong presence of especially European firms here. As you know, I'm from Germany, and if you didn't know, then at least you can hear it from my accent right now. I've even recently been called the female Arnold Schwarzenegger due to how I sound, and you know what? I don't even hate it. Anyways, us Germans have a very strong base here, actually in many cities in China, because we like to build stuff. Here in Kunshan, we have the so-called Kunshan German Industrial Park. But don't worry, it is not only for German firms, but everybody is welcome. As of now, it has around 92 European and American enterprises and another 102 German firms, which nonetheless remain currently the largest national group amongst Europeans. But if that's not your preference, Kunshan offers several other industry parks as well. For example, we have the 𝗿𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗶 International Industry Park, which includes companies from Italy, Sweden, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. And then there's the startup factory in Kunshan, which supports more than 37 European companies with flexible space and shared services. They are, however, also managed by a German. In fact, I went there today and I also had lunch. They host a variety of companies and have a total of roughly 400 people there who get strong local support and create a lot of synergies amongst them. I even had lunch in their cafeteria. And there are also, of course, some US firms. Even though due to the current tariffs, many American firms find it challenging to stay very competitive in China. Funnily, or maybe not funnily, but interestingly, China and the Chinese government are really leaving them completely alone, and there's no anti-American resentment here in the business community. These firms are losing their foothold and have to close because of what's going on politically in their country of origin. There are also some other industrial zones besides the Kunshan Economic and Technological Development Zone that I mentioned earlier. For example, we also have the High-Tech Industrial Development Zone, which has a focus on robotics and biotech. Then there's also the Huqiao International Business Park, which specializes on cross-border trade, especially with Shanghai. So from a recruitment point of view, Kunshan is a good place. The workforce here is mature and you have many other cities which are actually quite nearby. And when I say nearby, I mean nearby from an employee point of view. So they can get in their car on the train, drive here in the morning and after work drive back like I'm doing today, and it doesn't take an unreasonable amount of time. So that also means that firms can tap into a pretty decent sized talent pool, not only in Kunshan but also in the vicinity. Salaries on average are still quite cheaper than in Shanghai, of course, but a bit higher than in other neighborhood cities. This is because Kunshan historically has been quite, financially well off. So people just have more money and earn more money, so they cost more money, but not as much. So for firms from a headhunter point of view, I can give you the green light. And now you may ask, okay, but if I come to Kunshan, will I like it? Well, it depends. If you need a super big city life with everything in English because you do not speak any Chinese, then this may not be ideal. But for everybody else, I think this is actually a very charming and very livable city with a very rich culture, and it also shines through in the city itself and the people. So for example, coffee culture is actually very famous in Kunshan. There are more than 800 coffee shops here. I think it was started as a trend by a larger Taiwanese community because Foxconn is a very large employer here, but locals picked it up. I even hear that around half of all China-produced coffee beans are stored in the city. Coffee is becoming more and more mainstream in China anyways, with many super duper cute coffee shops in many cities. When I first came to China 17 years ago, I did not meet many Chinese people who drank coffee and they really didn't enjoy the flavor, but now it has become quite a mainstream drink. The city is overall very clean, extremely safe and pretty well connected. Generally, all of China is pretty safe. I mean, watch the street when you're crossing and make sure you don't eat anything that, makes your belly upset. But we usually joke that there are so many CCTV cameras around us which record everything all the time that the actual crime rate is near to nothing, especially for things like pickpocketing. So I personally absolutely leave my phone, my laptop, my bag, whatever in a cafe at the table when I go to the restroom, and nothing ever happens. This is true for many places in China, but of course, please pay attention and use common sense. But I personally really feel since the CCTV increased so much during and after the pandemic, no one will steal your stuff anymore. Much too risky for them. Also, Kunshan is home to the Duke Kunshan University. That's an international collaboration with Duke universities. So if you don't know, Duke actually is an American university and it ranks number 61 according to the QS World University Rankings, which is actually pretty high. We also have here the Applied Technology College of Suzhou University, which also has a pretty good reputation. And after, your safety, your coffee needs and your education has been taken care of, what else is there to talk about except the food? Of course, the most important part. Suzhou cuisine is part of Jiangsu cuisine and usually well known for more of a delicate, slightly sweet flavor and more refined cooking techniques. They have some very famous dishes which you absolutely have to try when you're here. I think my favorite and the two most famous ones, at least that is what my clients usually order for me when we go for a meal after we successfully closed a position in their firm, would be the 𝗕𝗵 yang roll. So that's called 𝗕𝗵 lamb. And that is a local dish from Qiandong town with options like braised, boiled or cold sliced with soy sauce. It's usually eaten in winter because mutton is supposed to have heating properties. So if you eat it, it will make your body warmer. Also very famous are the 𝗿𝗶𝗹𝗀𝘀𝗀, the 𝗿𝗶𝗹 noodles. They are actually named by Emperor Qianlong and often served with fried fish or spiced duck. This is one of China's top 10 noodle dishes and very, very famous. And of course, every year Suzhou also joins the hairy crab hype with its famous Yangcheng Lake hairy crabs. This is a seasonal delicacy famous for rich crab cream tied closely to Kunshan's aquatic culture. Actually, the whole country goes crazy for hairy crab and it's very expensive. Even though I have to be honest, I am not the hugest fan. The taste actually is very delicious, but oh boy, you have to crack it open and you really have to work hard for your food. And that's just not my thing. I prefer it easy. So in summary, Kunshan may still be a country-level city on paper, but when it comes to business climate, foreign presence, industrial output and livability, it does very well. If you're Western firms in electronics, machinery or smart manufacturing, this is a very attractive city to be in China to consider. Salaries are lower than in first-tier cities like Shanghai, but higher than in the neighboring cities, so you should compare very carefully. But as said, the workforce is educated and mature. Just make sure to do your research, get local advice, and build a solid talent strategy. And of course, if you need help hiring or you want referrals for consultants here on the ground, drop me a message. Thanks guys, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into China's real business landscape. I hope you enjoyed that. Bye guys!